all in as we go through, but we'll go ahead and get started today. We've been doing these virtual meetings, I was telling Amanda before, since about March, since the pandemic started, and we're really hopeful to return to in-person meetings this year as vaccines continue to roll out, but we will continue meeting in this fashion until it is safe to get back in person again. The meetings virtually run a little bit differently. It's hard to have more engagement across multiple voices on a Zoom call, but I do want to make some announcements before we get started and hand it over to our speaker. The first announcement I want to make is for you guys to join me in welcoming some new board members for 2021. I'll go through and name the new elected officers. We've had Jared Nunley elected as our new vice president. Emily Sargent elected as secretary, Kevin Cavins elected as a new at-large board member. And then we've also got board members returning for 2021, myself at president, Scott Sherman at treasurer, Ron Frazier, Ann Hensley, Gail Hensley, and Preston McLean at-large board members. So thank you all for your willingness to be nominated and serve on the chamber board, and we certainly look forward to working with you in 2021. Other announcements, I also want to welcome some new members to the chamber this month. We've had new memberships from RT Welding and Fabrication Incorporated. That's Tim Rice's group. For those of you that might be more familiar with Tim, they've been a part of the community, the business community, for more than 25 years. We recognized them at our gala last fall as an anniversary award. And so we're real glad that Tim has joined up with the chamber. We also want to welcome Goodwill Industries. I couldn't find online how long Goodwill had been in Harlan County. Not being a Harlan native, it kind of goes to my detriment at times, but I know they've been a significant part of the community for some time, and we're really pleased that, that they've joined up with the chamber. I have two other small announcements. One is that my organization, One Harlan County, is currently accepting applications for the 2021 Harlan County Local Recovery Fund. This is a partnership with the Harlan County Fiscal Court. We have some mini grant applications available for funds of up to $1,000 to help with the continuing costs of acquiring PPE, cleaning supplies, or sanitizer, and making modifications to places of business or implementing new technologies that will make it safer to shop local during this pandemic. And so you can apply for that. The link is on our One Harlan County Facebook page, but I've also asked James to send it out to the chamber after this meeting. And the deadline for applying for those mini grants is January 15th, so that's this Friday. There's also some applications out right now with the Mountain Association. This group used to be known as MASED. That might be a little more familiar to some of you. But the Mountain Association, as they are called now, is currently accepting applications for support services. They will cover 75 and up to 100% of the costs of approved projects on a case-by-case basis. And this includes things like helping prepare financial documents, developing marketing plans, and implementing energy efficiency projects. Their applications can be found online at mtassociation.org. I'm also going to have James send out that link after the meeting, and those applications are due by January 30th. And then the last announcement I have on my list is I want to introduce you all today to Cassidy Wright. She has joined the chamber call. Cassidy is the new director for Cumberland Tourism. Scott had asked if I wouldn't care to introduce her to everyone. So Cassidy, would you like to say a few words?
Hey, you guys. Thank you all so much for inviting me to your Zoom and for introducing me to everyone, Colby. I'm super excited to represent the city of Cumberland. I'm really invested in local businesses and helping make Harlan County a better place to live, and doing whatever I can to bring tourism into our county. I'm super excited.
Well, we're really excited to have you in that role, Cassidy. It's really nice to meet you virtually, and we look forward to working with you.
Well, thank you so much.
Does anyone else have any announcements they would like to make for the benefit of the chamber before we get started with our speaker? I don't see anyone coming off mute. If you do have an announcement later on, feel free to type it in the chat, or we can circle back around at the end. With that being said and out of the way, we will move into our guest speaker today. We have Amanda Kelly joining us from the Southeast Kentucky Economic Development Corporation, also called SCED for short. So Amanda leads SCED's training department. She's an experienced training director, social media manager, and small business coach. If you need help with getting your business off the ground and ready to apply for a SCED loan, Amanda is your go-to person. Driven by a desire to see people and businesses succeed, she's worked to provide the best service and advice to SCED's clients and entrepreneurs through their training courses since 2015. She developed and leads SCED's digital marketing program, Be Boss Online. Amanda is a Cumberland College graduate. When not at work, she spends most of her time getting her 2 young children to school and extracurricular activities. And I'm sure that's been quite a handful over the last year during this pandemic. So welcome, Amanda. Thank you for joining us today. The floor is yours. Feel free to share anything you'd like to with us.
Thank you, Colby. I appreciate the introduction, and thank you guys for having me on to talk about SCED and what we do here, and hopefully we can find a way to help somebody who needs it. So I'm going to go through a short PowerPoint. It's just a couple of slides, kind of gives you an overview of who SCED is and what we do here. And then at the end, any questions that you guys have, I'd be more than happy to answer any and all of them. So I'm going to share my screen real quick and get this PowerPoint up. There we go. Does that look okay, Colby? Is that good? Okay. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So SCED, like Colby said, is the Southeast Kentucky Economic Development Corporation, which is way too long to say or write anywhere. So we go by SCED. And we've recently gone through a rebranding. Our logo's changed a little bit. Our tagline's changed. We now use Let's Do Business Better. So really our goal is to grow the economy of Eastern Kentucky. And our mission, I'm gonna change how I've got this. Whoops, my bad. Sorry, I've got to move there we go. Okay, so the mission of SCED is to improve the quality of life and the vitality of our service area by promoting sustainable economic development and employment opportunities with creative professionalism, integrity, in collaboration with local, state, and federal partners. So that's a lot and kind of boring. But here is our 45 county area, and you can see it's a little bit darker gray. And so we go all the way basically from Ashland down to Middlesboro, over to Pikeville, and west to about Edmonton. And we've got a really large service territory. At least it feels like that when you're driving from one side to the other. But we do our very best to work in all of the counties that we cover, and we even do a little bit of work in the surrounding counties as well. So if you're located kind of close, if there's any way I can help you, I will. I've got some parameters that we have to work within for loan clients, but for training, I can be a little bit more flexible. So, but obviously we work in Harlan. I've taught a number of different classes in Harlan over the past 6 years or so. And, we would love to get back there when the pandemic's over, or do something virtually in the meantime. But at SCED, we're trying to improve Eastern Kentucky, and we do that in 3 different ways. We do it through lending. So we do small business lending, we do medium business lending, we do even some large business lending. And we do that, we do a lot of it in-house. We also partner with other financial institutions, other nonprofits. We have a very, very creative lending department who is really good about finding ways to get projects done if at all possible. Now, I'm not going to say that we don't sometimes say no, because sometimes we have to, but our lending department does work to find a way through to make projects possible. We also work in recruitment and expansion. So we do help try to bring larger companies here to expand or to find a new home for their business. That our executive director focuses a lot more on that than I do. I really focus on the training aspect of what SCED does. And we do that through classes. We do individual technical assistance with small businesses. We do a weekly coffee talk on Facebook Live every Thursday at 10 a.m. We get on there and we either interview a business owner, or we talk about a tip or a trick or a tool small business owners can use. So we try to put our information out there in a variety of different ways so that people can access it easily. The trainings that we do, well, hold on, I'll get to BBoss Online here in a second. These are some numbers that we've gone through. We've done over 700 million in loans since 1986. We weren't actually doing loans quite that early, but that's when SCED started. We've created almost 10,000, created or retained almost 10,000 jobs. In 2019, we worked with 259 different businesses for consulting and training, and did over $3,500 of consulting hours with those folks. So we work really hard to get the businesses what they need, and it's not necessarily just our loan clients that we work with. So I've got folks that call me on a regular basis that I work with that aren't loan clients, but they realize that SCED can help, and so we do. It doesn't matter to me if you're a loan client or not. If you need help, I want to find a way to get you the help that you need so that your business is successful. So here are some of the examples of training services that we provide. Everything is very, very tailored to the individual in the business. And some people like more help than others. So, and that's absolutely fine. Some people want constant conversation back and forth. Other people just want to call me when they need me. And I'm 100% okay with whatever works for you and your business. But we want to get you the tools and the resources and the information that you need to be successful. And we do everything from accounting services, bookkeeping training, to how to write a business plan. We help with computer issues. That, we got a call last week that one of our clients that we were working with, their computer just stopped working. So Kyle Smith, who also works in the training department at SCED, went over there and he figured it out and got it back up and going, at least long enough to back it up to where they could get the files. We do credit counseling and financial management. So if you need help understanding your finances, we can help with that. Digital marketing is someplace that we spend a huge amount of time, and on the next slide, we'll talk about BBoss Online. So I'll put a hold on that for just a second. We'll help with legal. So if you need to get your business licenses or permits, or figure out if you're going to be a C Corp or an S Corp or a sole proprietorship, we can help with that. Business management and strategic planning. A lot of what I do is talking through scenarios with clients, trying to figure out if we should go in this direction or that direction. And so strategic planning is something that we spend a lot of time on with clients. Marketing, not only digitally, but also the old-fashioned way of marketing. It all is important. And I don't think you can do one and not the other. So we do focus on that some. Sales training, if folks need help learning how to sell their product better. And then just coaching and mentoring. A lot of owning a business is a rather lonely experience, and it feels like you are all by yourself and you don't really have anybody you can turn to. So I really want, if you have a legal question, you call your lawyer. If you have an accounting question, you call your accountant. My goal with everybody that I work with is that when you have a question, you're not sure what to do, that SCED or me comes up as the first person you should call to get some advice. Now, I will be the first to admit I do not know everything, but if I don't know it, I will tell you I don't know it, and I will either research it and find the answer, or I will start making phone calls to find somebody who does know. So it's not that we have all the answers, it's just that we know where to look for the answers when you need them. So Be Boss Online is something that I'm really proud of. We've created a curriculum for small businesses to understand digital marketing, and in such a way that it gets you the information that you need efficiently and with minimal frustration. We used to, and still do some, teach a class called Entrepreneurial Smarts. And that was all about a business plan, how to write a business plan. So we would teach that class, and the Appalachian Regional Commission was funding us for that. And eventually they told us, well, it's time to switch it up. You need to do something different. So we started asking, we had over 500 graduates of that course, and we started asking folks what they needed help with. And in one form or another, digital marketing was almost always the answer. They needed help building a website, or they needed help understanding how social media can help their business, or they needed help understanding email marketing, things like that. So we started looking for a program that we could utilize to teach that course in Eastern Kentucky. And we couldn't find one. So we made one. And we're on about year 3.5 right now of developing this and fine tuning it and changing it and growing it. And we're up to, when we teach this in person, it's about a 12-hour course. But we also have it in a self-paced version, which is just on videos. And we've got about 25 different videos that you can go in and watch, the ones that you need, or don't watch the ones that aren't relevant to you. But we cover everything from how to get your Google business listing set up. And that's usually the first thing that we do in the course when we teach it in person, is we will make sure that everybody's got a verified Google business listing. And if it's not verified, we'll verify it during class. We cover local search engine optimization, social media 101. So we go over about 6 different platforms, and we talk about who's on those platforms and what it would be good for and which platforms your customers are on. We look at doing Facebook ads, Google ads, understanding, retargeting ads. So if you're on Amazon and you look for a pair of shoes, and for the next 3 weeks, those shoes show up on every website that you go to, that's not an accident. That's a retargeting ad. So we can show businesses how to do that. We go through building a website and all of the things that need to be done, like your privacy policy and your terms of use and things like that, so that you can be GDPR compliant and you're not breaking any European laws. And we try to give the business owners exactly what they need as efficiently as possible and get them going onto the 12,000 other things they need to be doing. We talk about analytics, email marketing, cybersecurity, and a number of other things, but this was built specifically for the small businesses. This is down to click here, do this, do that. This is what this box means. Just from years of working with small business owners and working in small businesses, I understand where the hiccups are and where a lot of the folks get confused when they're trying to do this on their own. So I try to make it a point to explain things a little bit more detailed in some areas where I think it's necessary. So like I said, Be Boss Online right now, we're working on a virtual class, getting that scheduled, but I have everything on videos. And at the end of this slide presentation is a card with my email address and my phone number. If you or anybody that you know would be interested in taking a look and going through these videos, there's no cost to anybody in Kentucky. We would love to get you on there so that you can watch these videos and get the information that you need to help grow your business. So one other program that we're working with is called SEED, which is our Supplier Education and Economic Development Program. This is another training program that we're doing. We do some of this in-house, but then we also use some other folks around the region to help with some of these trainings. Basically, we're providing training and support designed to improve the competitiveness of manufacturing companies in Eastern Kentucky. And this is mainly for DoD, Department of Defense type of contracts where you have to be in the system, you have to meet certain requirements, you have to understand how to bid a Department of Defense job, things like that to get more of those contracts to the manufacturers in Eastern Kentucky to help grow our region. We go through the process of getting them, some of them, their ISO certifications, some of them getting a website, some of them, you know, whatever training it is they need to be able to take it to the next level to where they can compete for these larger bids that are offered through the Department of Defense and other government organizations. So see, something that's been going on for about two years, and we've had really good success with it. We've had a lot of businesses go through it and get their ISO certification, which is a pretty big task. And you know, we're going through the process of getting some websites done now, and hopefully it will strengthen the businesses in Eastern Kentucky, and we'll be able to compete for more of these bigger contracts. So, and with that pretty much in a nutshell sums up what we do here at SCED. And like I said, I promised, if write down my email address or my telephone number. If you would like access to BBOS Online, I would love to get you that. So all you got to do is holler at me, and I will take care of the rest. But with that, do we have any questions?
Thank you, Amanda. This was really informative. I think that a lot of folks in Harlan County and around the region may not know that a lot of these programs exist. So it's great that you are able to share that with us. I want to jump in and say we will be sure and share this contact information as well as the recording of this meeting with our membership, so folks will have that handy. I do have just a couple questions prepared. If anyone else has questions, feel free to come off mute or type them in the chat. One question just popped up in the chat, Amanda, from Paul Browning. He asked, does SCED work with any size business?
We really do. You know, our loan clients range from, you know, somebody who owns a boutique or a very small retail store to larger manufacturers and everything in between. So we really don't have a limit as to what size business we'll work with. Sometimes we're a little bit limited on loan amounts. I mean, we can do, you know, depending on the deal, we go pretty high, but if we're looking for $20 million, that might be a little stretch for us. But
one question that I had prepared, Amanda, I was just curious, what are some common areas of growth you see among small businesses in our region? Like, what's one thing that more of our small businesses could be focusing on?
So really cash flow. Cash flow is something that it kind of sneaks up on you, and if you're not really paying attention, it can really sink your business faster than anything else that I've seen. And you can always tell the business owners that really have a handle on their finances. And it's not just profit margins. You want to be profitable, you want to make money, but at the end of the day, if your cash flow isn't set up in such a way that you can make your payments or make your payroll every month, it's really hard to survive. So cash flow is something that I spend a lot of time talking with my clients about, and just making sure that they really have a firm grasp of when that money is going to come in and when that money's got to go out, and making sure that we have enough in there to always cover.
Looks like we've had another question in the chat. It says, what does SCED's lending target? Structure, inventory, repairs, websites?
Everything. So we do everything from, want to build a building and purchase land to grow my business, to inventory, to I want to remodel, to I need to buy a piece of equipment, to even some operational costs. It really depends on your business, how long you've been in business. It depends on your credit score. There are 100 different things that go into our lending. I will say that we are a non-traditional lender. So if your business is bankable, you're probably going to get a lower rate at your bank. And competing with banks is not what we do. We're really there for the loans that the banks can't do or can't do all of. We tend to come in and handle that side of things.
All right. Other questions for Amanda? I have one more, if you would indulge me, Amanda. Can you share any success stories of a business who may have taken advantage of SCED resources during the pandemic?
Yeah, so we have worked with more businesses in the past, what are we on 10 months now, than we did probably in the 2 to 3 years before. And I have been absolutely impressed with the tenacity of our small business owners. They have found a way to get through this and to survive, and in some instances really grow their business because of COVID. I've been working with a company in Somerset that started a food delivery service. So it's not that food delivery wasn't something that was around before. I mean, we've had pizza delivery for forever, but in Lexington and Louisville, it's a different story. You can call up DoorDash and they'll just bring food to you. But we had a company start during the pandemic because they saw a need, and they're doing really well. We've had I work with an entertainment business that was forced to close for quite a while, and they've figured out ways to kind of restructure and change up how they're doing things to be able to still operate and still be in business. I was really worried at the beginning when all of the shutdowns kind of started happening, how this would affect our small businesses in Eastern Kentucky. And I've been, like I said, I've been so proud of how well they've adapted. It's really been awesome.
That's great to hear. And I just have one last thing. Can you reiterate how much these training programs cost for businesses in Eastern Kentucky?
So if you do the self-paced version where you're watching the videos, there's no cost. All you got to do is email me. Typically, we charge $25 for the 12-hour in-person class. And I'll be 100% honest with you. It's just because if somebody invests a little bit of something into a program, they tend to show up more. So that's really the only reason that we do that. And it does help cover some printing costs that we have associated with the classes. But we try to make this affordable for everybody. And if there's somebody who really wants to take it and there's no way $25, they can't do it, I'll figure out a way.
Well, that's great. And we certainly appreciate you all offering those resources for businesses, not just in Harlan County, but throughout the region. And I want to thank you again for taking some time today to share this information with our Chamber of Commerce.
I really appreciate you, Cole. Oh, we got a question. Is there a minimum number for in-person training? There's typically, I want at least 5 in there. And the reason being is that while, we're teaching the class, it's amazing how the business owners that are in there taking the class interact with each other and really help give good ideas and really help to kind of move the class along. It works better with 5. At least 5. So that's kind of where.
And if anyone is interested in trying to get a cohort together, feel free to reach out to
Yeah.
myself. We can put you in contact with Amanda directly. We would love to help facilitate some trainings like this in Harlan County.
Absolutely. I've done a couple of smarts trainings there. I don't think we've had BBOS in Harlan yet, so we definitely need to do that, Colby.
Yeah, let's make that happen.
That actually we did do one BBOS. It was we did it at the portal.
Oh yeah,
We sure did.
good deal.
All the trainings run together sometimes, and it's hard for me to remember. But
Yeah,
I really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to me go on for 20 or 30 minutes. But if there's ever anything I can do or Sked can do for you or your business or somebody that you know, please don't hesitate to call.
well, thank you again, Amanda. We'll be sure and share your contact information with the Chamber's mailing list. It's a little after 12:30. I do want to respect everyone's time. I appreciate you all joining us on your lunch hour. We'll give Amanda a virtual round of applause to thank her for being here today, as weird as those are to do via Zoom. I have one last announcement before we disembark from this meeting. Next month, our general membership meeting is set for Wednesday, February 10th at noon. I've reached out to Senator Johnny Turn to see if he might be available to give us an update from Frankfort. I haven't quite heard back from him yet, so we may reschedule that meeting depending on his availability, if he would like to speak with us and maybe be better available at a different time. So be on the lookout via email for next month's meeting, and we'll be sure and send out a recording from today's, along with the links that I mentioned in the announcements at the beginning. So thank you all again for joining us. We look forward to seeing you again virtually next month and hopefully in person later this year. And thank you again, Amanda.
Bye.